Okay, so excuse the dishevelled, fresh from the gym face and the adrenaline that is going through my body right now. But I just booked a trip to Fuerteventura, a day trip to Fuerteventura, leaving in a little over 12 hours. Just because I fancied a day out. So I've just booked myself some flights and I thought I would document this and let you know if it's worth going for a day. I will be totally honest and say I love flying, so I am probably just as excited, if not more excited, about having 8 hours on a plane. 2 different providers as well, got Jet2 going out, Easyjet coming back. I love planes, I love trying different things, so that's just as exciting for me. So if it's more about the destination, probably not going to be the thing for you. I think if everything goes to plan, I should be there for about 6 hours, 7 hours, something like that. I think I worked out I might have like 4 hours there because obviously I'll need to get back to the airport. I'll check out 2 different airports and check out a different island. I've never actually been to Fuerteventura, so that's what tempted me. But the main reason was because it was £50. And quite frankly, even if I went out in the UK on a day out, say I took myself to a museum and I got myself some food, that could easily be that amount. So I'm just going to take food with me. I might grab something on the go, might get something from a lounge, but just having a bit of a trip out on some planes. So I'm going to take you with me. Good morning. It is dark, wet, windy. What time is it now? 6:40 on a Saturday morning. It's not that early, but it's very much early for me. And for a weekend after a busy week, it's very early. I couldn't get to sleep last night. I was so excited. So it's not that early, and that's why I went for this flight. But actually, it does feel really early because even though I went to bed at a fairly sensible time, I just couldn't get to sleep. So I'm very fortunate that I live fairly close to quite a lot. I live fairly centrally, so I live fairly close to a fair few airports. I am going from Liverpool today, which is one of my favourites to fly from. So I'm about to go and get in the car and drive to Liverpool Airport. Well, drive to a car parking space not far from Liverpool Airport. So it looks like the traffic's fine, so should be there in plenty of time, hoping that I breeze through security and then get to the lounge. But regardless, in a little over 3 hours, hopefully I should be getting on my plane and heading off to Fuerteventura. So I'll see you in a little while. Okay, so I had an absolutely wonderful drive. Really easy traffic, really nice. Some great music on Classic FM this morning from Einaudi, so and various other tunes that I enjoy, so that was nice. Slight problem with the parking because I'd been given a number, but it was actually a number and a letter to the person's house that I was parking at. So I'm glad that it's now daylight because I was able to identify. Luckily they were also in, so I could double check and make sure I was in the right place. To be fair, there's a hell of a lot of street parking here, so I probably could have parked for free, but I like supporting other people, and it only cost me £5.20 or something for the whole day, so I don't mind that at all, and it's in a nice, safe, secure place behind an automatic gate. So, yep, all good on that front. Just walking to the airport now. It's about 7:45, 10 to 8, something like that. It's got my flight in just over 2 hours, so should be there in plenty of time, hoping that it's not too busy. But yeah, it's been a lovely, lovely day so far. And then I get really excited when I start seeing planes. So I'll check in a little bit. And just as I stopped that, I saw my first plane. You can see and hear the planes from these houses in this housing estate here. I've always kind of said it would be so cool to live near the airport. I'm sure it must get annoying as well, but it's so cool. I can see 2 Easyjet tail fins, a Jet2. That's it so far. And they're the 2 brands that I'm going on today. So I've got Jet2 this morning and an Easyjet back tonight. Wow, I have never had a security experience like that. There was literally, and I'm not kidding, 5 other people in the whole of the security section, 5 other passengers. Really easy. I got touchdown. Not sure why. I think it might have been the zip on the back of my leggings, but yeah, I got a full pat down and check in with the is it magnetic thing? But yeah, through in literally less than, well, the pat down was the longest bit. No question on my luggage either. So in the duty free now, walking through all the shops. I definitely don't want any alcohol at 8 AM in the morning. And I don't want any more perfume. So just trying to head to the lounge now. I'm just at the lounge at the moment. Had a nice breakfast and yeah, it's really nice and quiet here. There's not many people out today. I'm just about to go and head off to my gate. I'm really full actually, so that's good. So I've got a long flight with no food. Yeah, gonna grab myself some water and head to my gate. So the one downside of the lounge at Liverpool, it was really nice. Very nice and quiet, very helpful, very convenient location. Like it's just after security. But Liverpool's a great little airport. But the downside is there's no view. I always find that really disappointing because I want to watch planes. So you can actually see outside down here in the main bit, and obviously you can go towards the gates. But the lounge itself, there's nowhere to watch planes. So I think that's a little bit of a shame. But other than that, it was excellent. The information about food allergies was perfect, so they were super helpful. So I had a nice hot breakfast and juice, and I've topped up my water bottle ready for my flight. So yeah, really impressed. Just a shame that I haven't been able to plane spot yet. Oh my word, right, the flight was great, yeah, really good flight. We arrived early, however, I have just spent over an hour, possibly an hour and a half, in a queue at passport control. I think they were going to do the EES, and then it seemed that they just decided not to for some of us because it was taking too long. There was something like 11 flights that all came in from the UK within an hour. So just so many people. Anyway, I'm going outside for the first time now, so let's see. Well, I did go on the bus earlier, I guess. So here I am, Fuerteventura. I'm just at the taxi rank at the moment. I'm going to see if I can find a bus to get down to the nearest beach, or if not, maybe a taxi, because I am quite short on time now. I need to be back in the airport, so it is currently, bear with, it is currently 20 past 3. And I need to be back at the airport by 5:30ish. Maybe I could get away with 6. So I have 2 hours. So let's see how I get on. Oh yes, this was definitely worth it. So a couple of hours at the airport wasn't what I was expecting. However, I am now here, and it's lovely, really beautiful, and more than I expected. As you can see, also very windy. Right, so just sharing a little bit of advice. If you are coming here, I don't know why you would come here for a day, but I've loved it actually. It's just a bit random, isn't it? If you do, I probably wouldn't recommend getting the public bus. I'm going to try to get the bus back to the airport, but I'm going to give myself loads and loads of time. They're not very frequent, especially at the weekend, and they don't seem reliable. So if you're short on time, I probably wouldn't recommend getting a bus. I'd recommend either getting a taxi, or there isn't really anywhere you can walk to, I don't think, from the airport. So it did take me quite a while. So I was actually at the airport for 2 hours in total from landing to leaving, because by the time I'd kind of worked the buses out and gone to wait and wondered whether Google Maps was actually correct, which unfortunately it was, that there wasn't a bus for ages, and obviously it does take a little bit longer as well than getting a taxi direct. So by the time I'd done that, I then realised I needed to queue for a taxi, and the queue was quite long, and before I did that I needed to make sure I'd got plenty of cash, because it was actually cheaper than I was expecting, but they said it could be €18. It actually cost me €15, so not too bad, but yeah, definitely if you're short on time, recommend getting a taxi. But I'm now at the beach. It's lovely. just nice actually. It's not too sunny, not too hot to wear a jumper, but luckily I thought on and wore a light t-shirt. And I've done my cartwheel on the beach, which I'll show you in a minute, and yeah, just enjoying just walking along the shore at the moment. And then I'm going to nip into the town and then see if I can get a bus back to the airport, because it is a lot cheaper. And I don't need to do anything whilst I'm here. I've seen the sea, I've been on the beach, and yeah, nip into the town, have a look at some shops, maybe grab some food, but I've got plenty in my bag, so I don't need any, and then head back to the airport. I would recommend this, but it is a bit far for a day. I'd probably do an overnight. So if you love planes and you don't mind random trips, it's good, but you don't get a lot of time, especially if you spend 2 hours at the airport. That is the worst experience I've ever had at an airport, actually, I have to say. So I was unlucky, but you know, it is what it is. Thank you, Jim. I decided to walk along this coastal path for a little bit, and it's really lovely actually. Really nice. It is. It's very touristy. It's very English. A little bit like Lanzarote. I think this particular area, I've come down to Caleta de Fuste, which, like I say, is really close to the airport, so very convenient and has a beach and places to eat and things like that. But I think it is a very English area. I'm not sure if all of Fuerteventura is like that, but I can see why Brits who want sun but familiarity come here. So I'm not sure it's my sort of thing in general, but it's nice to come for something a little bit different, and it's very, very pretty. There was some nice sort of volcanic views from the taxi when I was coming to this area. Couldn't really catch them on the camera, I'm afraid, but yeah, it's like other Canary Islands, to be perfectly honest. I know they're all slightly different, but this reminds me a lot of when I first visited Lanzarote. My balcony looked out onto a view a lot like that. So yeah, but it's nice though, and I'm really enjoying just having a nice little wander and explore along this coastal path. Well, that's actually worked out perfectly. I just got this bus, which wasn't as busy on its way out and I've made it to the airport just over 2 hours before my flight. So I'm just going to check in, see if there's a lounge. Well, there should be a lounge, but I don't know if it's open. See if I can check that out. That's actually been really nice. It's worked surprisingly well, given that I didn't have much time. So yeah, the bus was fine and really cheap. It just depends on the timings, so check them out. Also, I didn't get a chance to take a video because my bus arrived as I was just getting to the bus station. But this bus station, I've forgotten the place that I went to. The bus station in that area anyway is really easy to get to, and very easy to tell where the bus goes to and things like that. So it was really, really good actually. So yeah, can check in now. Okay, so it's an hour until my plane goes now, so I have to scurry off and go through passport control nice and early. But I'm in the lounge at the moment. You see there, I've just had something to eat. Amazing staff here, because I have to ask for gluten-free. Sometimes there is stuff, sometimes there isn't. I never bank on there definitely being stuff, but there often is, so that's nice. So I've always got, you know, things in my bag just in case. Anyway, today they were really super helpful, and they didn't have much, but they did me some vegetables that they heated, like it's quite a canary type dish actually. It was just lots of peppers in it's like a sort of vinegar oil type thing. But yeah, so I had some vegetables which I combined with a pack of crackers that I happened to have in my bag, so that was quite useful. And then she insisted on me having multiple cakes. I said one was plenty, and she was like, you have one for the plane food not good. I was like, well, I haven't got food on the plane anyway. And then she gave me 3 so I've got 3 gluten-free cakes now, and I've just topped up my water bottle as well, and I picked up a chocolate bar whilst I was out, so I've got that for on the plane. So yeah, it's actually been really good. I'll be honest, when we had the delay at the airport when I got here, I was almost regretting the madness of a day trip to the Canaries, because it is, 4 hours each way, plus the extra 2 hours at the airport, so it's kind of like 12 hours travelling. So yeah, most people wouldn't do that in one day. However, I have to say there was actually plenty of time. So I did, I got to see the beach. I did a cartwheel on the beach. I didn't paddle today, but it was a bit windy, and I just didn't fancy it today, but I could have. I chose to have a walk around and an explore rather than go and have a meal, but I absolutely could have gone and have a sit-down meal if I wanted to. And if I hadn't had the hold-up at the airport, I would have had plenty of time. So yeah, it's definitely doable. And I won't get back to Liverpool until just before midnight, so it is quite a long day. But it's not terrible. I didn't leave my house until 10 to 7 this morning, so it's not too shabby, and certainly something a little bit different if you want a day out and you're thinking, what can I do? Not sure if I'll ever come back to Fuerteventura. It's okay. It's a lot like the other Canary Islands. They are all slightly different, but but it was nice to have some sunshine, and yeah, I've really enjoyed it. So depending on how tired I am, I'll either do a little sum up video once I get to Liverpool, or at an indeterminate date when I finish this video. I am quite tired. I didn't sleep because I was so excited last night. So I did sleep a bit, but not well. So and I'm not a person who can sleep on the plane. I tried on the way over, but I rested my eyes for a little bit but didn't sleep. So we'll see how I got on. But day trip to Fuerteventura, big tick. And yeah, if you enjoyed planes, I would definitely recommend it, because you get a bit of time on the plane, and you get a little bit of time here. If it's more about going to see a new place or seeing culture, or spending a day on the beach, it's probably a little bit too far. But you could easily do just one overnight. So yeah, for a short trip, absolutely fine. And as long as things are running to schedule and there aren't the huge hold-ups at passport control, then it's definitely doable in a day. So yeah, really happy that I did this. It is a bit mad, but I'm a bit mad. So who knows where I'll be heading off to next, but this is definitely one extreme day trip in the bag. Wow, this was a bit of a shock to the system. I've had to get the coat back out, back in a fairly chilly Liverpool. However, it is dry, so that's a bonus. And just walking back to the car now. That was a fabulous flight, I have to say. All the Easyjet staff that I dealt with at every point were just incredible customer service, very informative, very helpful. Yeah, it was just brilliant. We took off, everyone was settled really early. However, there was some kind of computer problem, but it wasn't something that would impact the flight, but they still had to do the paperwork for it. So that meant we took off slightly late, but only about 10-15 minutes. And we came in to land at something like 3 minutes late. So yeah, it was really smooth. Like I say, kept really informed all throughout. And we managed to, it's midnight now, so there's not many people around, and so they managed to let us out pretty much right by the doors that you go to go to passport control, and I was at the front of the plane. Quick tip actually, if you book late, because they don't fill those first few rows because they're more expensive, well, if you book late, you get one of those seats, and there was a lot more space. So also, as we once boarding was complete, I was in the middle, the person next to me, her partner was on the aisle seat to the other side, so they moved to a row to sit together, which meant that I had a spare seat next to me. I moved across so that I was in the aisle, and we had a spare seat between myself and the other person. But it also meant I was off the plane, one of the first off the plane, straight through. Honestly, I think it was less than 10 minutes from landing to go in all the way through, as in passport control, customs, nothing to declare, everything. I did just stop to get some emergency cargo because the one thing that the flight was not good for was food supplies. But yeah, it was great. I actually had a nap, which is very, very unusual for me. So I was clearly very tired. But that's helped now because I've got the drive home, so I'm not feeling too bad. And I thought I'd just finish this video off. I hope you can hear me over the wind. But yeah, it's been great. It certainly is, of the extreme day trips, it's certainly a more extreme one because of how long the flights are. But it worked and I really enjoyed it, and it was just a great way to have a pretty cheap day out that was something a little bit different. I got to go on 2 different plane journeys, got to watch a couple of films, do some crochet, and got to go to the beach as well and explore a new country, island. So yeah, really, really enjoyed it, and I hope you enjoyed coming with me, and I hope that it might inspire you to take an extreme day trip of your own. All I did to find this was just use Skyscanner, and I just kind of said, on this particular day, because I've got commitments the day before and the day after, so I only had one day, and I said on this particular day I tried from Manchester and I tried from Liverpool to anywhere in the world, and I just chose the cheapest one, and it was Fuerteventura. But yeah, just choose a day. You can also check to be flexible on your days and see what options are available, and yeah, would really recommend doing this as a bit of a trip. I also met on the plane a couple of guys who were doing the same 2 flights today as me, so Jet 2 on the way out, Easyjet on the way back, but they weren't doing it for a day out, they were doing it for duty free shopping. So I guess like the flight equivalent of a booze cruise, which kind of amused me. But anyway, yeah, I'm going to finish up here and get back to my car and drive home. I suppose technically, now that we've gone past midnight, is it still a day trip? I think it is, because I wouldn't have been in bed even if I was at home. It's still the same day, isn't it? It's not involved in overnight. It has involved a little bit of a sleep on the plane. But yeah, so just walking past. Oh, there's some planes. And yeah, hope you enjoy coming with me. And I'll probably be doing more of these. So if you're interested, then follow me to keep updated and subscribe to the channel. And if you've got any questions about any of this, by the way, I love helping people with travel. I am a travel agent, but even if it's not booking through me, I just love helping people travel. So if you're interested in any of this, please do message me, send me a comment, ask me a question. I will certainly do my best to help if I can, because I didn't used to do this stuff and I want to help enable other people too, because it's great fun. So thank you ever so much, take care, and I will see you soon. Bye!